Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Pierce, and I'm one of the travel agents with Marvelous Mouse Travels. We are the agency that runs this Facebook group, along with several others that are focused on different destinations. Welcome to Sundays with MMT, which is actually happening on a Thursday this week, and that's for a lot of different reasons. Chief amongst them is that last Sunday was Christmas. And so, of course, we have rescheduled to still be able to bring you great content, but not on Christmas Day. So, this is typically a weekly live agent panel video series that we do in one of our Facebook groups every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're really excited to be with you on this special Thursday episode to talk to you about the Wonder of the Seas, which is the newest ship in Royal Caribbean's fleet. We have a team of agents who recently returned from one of the inaugural sailings. And so they're going to be talking to us about this beautiful new ship, some of their favorite parts of it, and things that maybe make it a great choice for your family. So we're really looking forward to hearing everything that they want to share with us. We also would love to take your questions and see your comments. So if you're interested in leaving a comment, feel free to do that at any point during our live stream, and we're happy to chat with you live here in the group. If you are watching us on Facebook, Facebook will ask you to approve StreamYard, which is our platform that we're using to go live this evening. It'll ask you to allow it to display your username and profile picture. Just know that you can decline that permission and you can still interact with us anonymously in the group. And we would love to have you do that. So I'm joined tonight with two of our marvelous agents. So ladies, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And take just a little bit of time to tell everybody your name, how long you've been with the agency, and the best way for people to contact you if they're interested in planning a trip.
Hey, good evening. Thanks for joining. This is Donna with Marvelous Mouse Travels. I have been with the agency for just over 5 years, and if you need to reach me, I can be reached via email at donnamarie@marvelousmousetravels.com.
Oh, the agency about 2 years. And the best way to reach me is at Susie@marvelousmousetravels.com.
Awesome. And again, my name is Ginger. I have been with the agency just over 4.5 years. And the best way to reach out to me is to visit my blog, which you can find at gingermmt.com. So, one of the perks of our being part of our agency and of having the great relationship with Royal Caribbean that we have is that many times we get the opportunity to be among the first people to experience something new. So, in this particular case, when Royal has a new ship, it's really nice to be able to have teams of our agents who are invited to sail on that ship and kind of get a feel for everything that it has to offer so that they can share it with their clients. And so that's what happened in this case with the Wonder of the Seas. And so we're just going to give you a really broad overview tonight of everything that these agents learned when they got to spend a little bit of time on board. So obviously, we're going to hit the highlights today for the sake of time. But just like I mentioned earlier, if you have any questions, you can pop those in the comments. And even if it's something that we can't answer for you live right now, it's definitely something that we can always get back in touch with you and answer later. But I want to start with one of the most important choices that you make when you're choosing whether or not you want to sail on a particular cruise ship, and that is what type of stateroom are you going to have? So, ladies, talk to us a little bit about the stateroom options on board this ship.
Sure, I'll start. So you will find what the, kind of typical what you'd see on other cruise lines. You'll have your interior. That means there's no windows, and those are a great value. If if you're not really concerned about, being in your cabin, that's a great place to stay. You'll be out and about a lot. Then you've got your your ocean view, which will have like a window to the ocean. It does not open, but you'll have a view to the outside, to the ocean. You've got your ocean view balconies. Those are probably my favorite because you'll get to spend some time out on the balcony in the morning with a cup of coffee, or in the evening. It's nice when you're getting ready, or just to be able to see the ocean. Two of the other balcony cabin types that are found on this ship, as well as the other Oasis class ships, are going to be kind of unique. They are the boardwalk boardwalk balcony. So those overlook the boardwalk deck. And then you've got the Central Park balconies, which overlook the Central Park deck. So those are, I think, pretty neat as well. If you like to people watch or just kind of like to see some of the entertainment, those are great areas to be. And they're a little less expensive than the ocean view. So you get that, still feel like you're outside. You can see the sky, get some fresh air. So those are a good one. And then they also have the suites, which we were lucky enough to tour some of them. I don't know if Susie wants to talk about the suites, because we had a good time there.
Sure. We did. Some of the suites are just amazing. We toured the Royal Loft Suite. That was the largest, most spacious one. It had a baby grand piano in it. 2 floors. It had a huge deck that wrapped around onto the other side of the ship. The Ultimate Family Suite was very nice. Again, just huge room. There were video games on the table. That was very cool. Separate bedroom, again, 2 floors. There was a slide that went from the upper floor down to the lower floor. The kids and actually adults could slide down to. Just so many different amenities for families and even couples if you wanted to stay in a suite. We also toured the Crown Loft Suite. Again, another great choice. And then Aqua Theater Suite was yet another one that overlooks the Aqua Theater that's on the deck below. They're just amazing. Huge decks with jacuzzis on the decks, and just a really great place to stay.
I think that's one of the things that people sometimes don't think about with Royal Caribbean, but if you are cruising with your family, it's a great option of cruise lines because they do have, so many different options for, size of your accommodations. And they have those cool, ultimate family suites and things that are just fun. I think maybe sometimes when people are thinking about family cruising, they might think of another cruise line that's themed around a famous mouse or something like that, which is obviously very family friendly. But Royal Caribbean has a lot of really great family friendly options too. And typically that can come in at a little bit lower price point than some of those other family centric options. So we'll talk a little bit more about why Royal Caribbean later. But I think that in talking about the suites, it was kind of appropriate to bring that up and talk about all the different options for families. Yeah. So let's talk about somebody or a lot of people's famous or favorite topic, and that is dining. So why don't you guys talk about maybe some of your favorite places that you ate, or maybe some of your favorite entrees that you ate? I'll kind of leave the ball in your court when it comes to what you want to focus on for food.
We had fun with
I'll
food.
go ahead.
We definitely enjoyed it. Go ahead, Susie.
I'll start this one, and feel free to join in, Donna. So when we got on the ship the first day, we went up to the Windjammer Marketplace, which is the large buffet on the ship. I had been on other Oasis class ships before, and the Windjammer sort of varies between the different sizes of the Royal Caribbean ships, but this one was huge. It was just, the food was just amazing. It was, any kind of food you can think of, any kind of dessert you can think of, and just great drinks. Everything was really, really top notch, and plenty of space too. You didn't feel crowded when you went to sit down at your table. It was plenty of room. So Windjammer is always a great option because it's almost always open for a buffet. But of course, then you have your main dining room, which we ate at, had a lot of fun in there. Actually, the specialty dining restaurants were not available when we were on board. But again, I've eaten in some of those on some of the other Oasis class ships, and they're wonderful. I've eaten at Chop Steakhouse. That's wonderful. Park Cafe. There's a Mexican El Loco Fresh that has wonderful Mexican food. That was open while we were on there, and that was wonderful.
And was that one was included, right? That one's not.
It was included. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's.
Thank you. I didn't distinguish which. Yeah, so there are specialty restaurants that aren't included, but there's plenty of food that is included. So you really don't have to purchase a specialty restaurant if you don't want to. There really is a lot of food, wonderful food.
So good. We did, and we found the service, I mean, on par with all the other ships as well. But it's just, especially in the dining rooms with your wait staff, I mean, they treat you so, it's almost like family, right? When you sit down, they get to know you. And on longer sailings, I'm sure, like what I've seen in other ones, this was just a quick one, but typically on the longer ones, by the second and third night, even by the second night when we went, they get to know your, what your likes, your dislikes, if you have any allergies or, things that you don't really, like, they remember that. So you just kind of get that familiarity and special attention from them. So that was really good. So, but yeah, tons and tons of food throughout the entire ship. I mean, just endless options. So you'll never go hungry. Pizza till 2 or 3 a.m. if you want. That's always a favorite way to end the night. So
Okay, you can't argue with your day round pizza. You can't really be mad at that.
No, and ice cream. Lots of, same thing. You get your ice cream till I don't even know if it's open 24 hours, but you can get ice cream at the self-serve at any time. So.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the things to do on board other than eat, although eating is most people's favorite thing to do on a cruise. I'm sure that there are plenty of options for entertainment and fun as well. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Oh gosh, the entertainment was endless. I mean, it was a shame, again, that we could only be on for 2 nights, because I would have loved to have been able to go and enjoy all of it. But we did get to see quite a bit, even in 2 nights. There's several different shows, and they're all, I mean, amazing, super high quality, level. So we got to see there's an ice skating rink. During the day, you can ice skate during certain hours. And then at night, it becomes a show venue. And the ice skating on board this show was absolutely gorgeous. There's the technology that they incorporate into it is fantastic. And it's amazing that they can do these things on a moving ship. I mean, we were like rocking in our seats, and here they are, like, doing all these amazing, moves on ice. The Aqua Theater, which is in the back of the ship, is phenomenal, and that's unique to Royal Caribbean. That's something that's very specific to them. That's incredible. And then there's other shows that take place in the regular theater, that I didn't go to one of them, so Susie can talk about that one. I ended up going to the comedy club, which was also a great time, and they usually have shows every night, possibly 1 or 2, and it can change, it can vary, but they have the comedy clubs, and then live entertainment everywhere. I have never been on a ship with so much live entertainment. I mean, even in the elevator, there's a piano player that you can catch. So he's like the rolling piano player. But literally live entertainment everywhere. Any bar or venue that we went, there was something happening. So that was really nice, because that's something I enjoy, is like being able to go and have music, or karaoke was happening. So Susie, if there's anything I forgot, but you can kind of chime in.
Sure. So the one show Donna was mentioning was called The Effectors. That was in the Royal Theater, and it was Royal Caribbean's most recent Broadway-like show, but it was really using state-of-the-art technology. It was just really amazing. It was something that you really have to see to understand, how the technology involved in it. But like Donna said, there's just entertainment all around. There are the pools, obviously, 3 main pools, and a huge slide that goes down 10 stories called Ultimate Abyss, where you can actually race, 2 people can race down each slide of it. They've got the flow rider simulator on board, surf simulator, the carousel and club area for kids, rock climbing. There's just so much. There really is so much for both children and adults on there. So it's like, even if you're on there for a week, I think you couldn't do everything, because there's just so many things offered.
Yep. I agree.
to choose what you want to do or not. You choose. That's the great thing, I think, of a cruise, that you can choose to just lie on the deck all day if that's what you want to do, or you can take advantage of all of these other great things they have. It's really something for everyone.
That's awesome. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of the itineraries for this ship. Where are the typical ports of call for this one?
Well, the main highlight is going to be the perfect day at Coco Cay. That is Royal Caribbean's private island. That is really a perfect day, and I've been lucky to have been there twice, once on this sailing and a prior one. And to the same aspect of being on the ship, there's so much to do, or you can literally grab a lounge chair in the water by the pool and just lay in the pool all day, or by the beach. If you want to do things that are, more active, there's tons of things that you can partake in, plenty for the kids. The water park itself is a whole adventure with the tallest water slide. So, there's just endless activities at that one. So that's just, such a highlight for a port. But some of the other ones I think are other ones that they visit are Nassau. And then, is it St. Thomas? Susie, did you look at any of the other ports of call?
Yeah, I believe it is Eastern and Western Caribbean.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah, so like St. Thomas and then Cozumel, Mexico. A lot of the main Caribbean ports that most of them go to. But
St.
you're right,
Martin,
Perfect Day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is really, really amazing. It's my favorite part of the cruise. It is really, it's an amazing island. There's just, there's so many beach chairs. There's so much room, and just, again, so many options for people. They've just really done a great job.
And the food is included there, which is fantastic. When you're at Perfect Day Coco Cay, your meals are included. And if you have the drink package on board the ship, you can use it when you're on the island as well for, some fun adult beverages. Drinks are included on the island as well, non-alcoholic. So there's, waters and fountain drinks. But if you have the drink package, the adult beverage package, then you can use that on the island as well, which is a nice treat.
That's great to know. And also, isn't there an adult exclusive part of Coco Cay?
Yep.
Yeah.
We did walk around and see quite a bit of it. So we get to, tour and see the whole island. So so if you just want some kind of quiet time, that's your space as well. If you like to be in the activities, plenty. So
yeah, absolutely. So
yeah,
tell me, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Susie.
I was just going to mention one thing that Donna and I both did, actually not on this cruise, but it was at Perfect Day on a previous cruise earlier in the year. They have the over the water bungalows at Perfect Day that you can rent for the day. They are for 8 people, and they're just really, really amazing. You get the beach club food and drinks like you would get served at the beach club, and you basically have your own over the water bungalow for a day.
And
so
your
it's,
own cabana attendant to bring you food and drinks all day. Oh, and there's a slide.
Amazing.
That's a popular thing to do if you're traveling as maybe with another family. You can, kind of share that. It's definitely worth the splurge. It's an amazing way to spend the day. So, because it does hold up to 8. So definitely worth it.
And those are beautiful too. I remember looking at some of the pictures that you guys brought back, and it's like, I feel like this is like somewhere in the South Pacific, like it's beautiful.
Yeah. It's exactly how you felt. Yes.
Yep.
Just for amazing. A day, but it was perfect.
Perfect.
Absolutely perfect day. So you guys have had, the privilege of being on a couple of different Royal Caribbean ships. So what would you say is there about this one in particular that maybe sets it apart or makes it a great choice versus some of the other ships?
Certainly the size. It's huge, but in my opinion, it's not too big because it's broken out into these neighborhoods. So this one has 8 neighborhoods as opposed to, I believe, the 7 on the other Oasis class ships. The 8th one on this one is the suite neighborhood. So they have their own pool, they have their own pool deck, restaurant. But because it's broken up into these neighborhoods, you don't feel like it's too big. You know, I remember thinking that the first time I went on an Oasis class ship, they're going to be too big for me, just too much to handle. But it really isn't. It's just more options. You know, just broken down into sections. So, you know, obviously everything is brand new and state of the art. You know, even in our stateroom, there are USB drives right next to our bed on the table. So, you know, little things like that, you could plug your phone in right next to your table, you know, your nightstand. Little things like that really add up. There was a lot of space in the room. It was well designed. Everything was brand new and beautiful, just state of the art. Gorgeous.
That's what I was going to add. It was a very well thought out, laid out ship, well appointed. You know, all the things that Susie just said, I completely wholeheartedly agree. And the other thing too, going back to, you know, the size of it, while the ship is the largest ship, and I think we sailed at pretty full capacity, it never felt crowded. I mean, you weren't, you know, you never felt like you were in a bottleneck or congested. Getting on and off of Royal Caribbean ship, I have sailed other cruise lines. I feel like they have the easiest process of getting on and off at ports. I mean, it's just seamless. You're waiting, that you think you're going to line up and there's going to be people in front, you know, waiting to get off. It was just seamless. So I just think they've really, you know, because there's several Oasis class ships, and I think it took a couple of iterations, and I think they've really nailed it on the head with this ship. I think they've hit everything. They've hit the mark on this one. So yeah. I loved all the touchless points too. I'm kind of a germphobe, and I know when you sail, you know, you do want to be extra careful because you are kind of in closer quarters. And I think that the lengths that they have gone to are really going to help to kind of mitigate, you know, some of those issues that could be, you know, when you're close together. Everything was just, there was so many touchless points. All the doors just open, lots of hand washing stations everywhere, and everything, you just constantly saw them cleaning. So just everything feels spotless, clean. I never ever felt, you know, it was beautiful. So I would love to be able to go on and do a full sailing on this one for sure.
Absolutely. Sounds like a great option. And speaking of great options, this will be kind of my last question for us to talk about tonight. And that is, why Royal Caribbean? You know, we already talked about it being a great, you know, family friendly option, but what are some of the other things that you love about this cruise line in particular?
Gosh, I think we could take everything that we just did and wrap it up in a bow, and that would kind of answer that. I just think that they have really, they're on par with, you know, like you said, they've got it for the family aspects. I mean, it's just a super family friendly ship. There were, you know, tons of kids, everybody having a great time. They've got lots of amenities for everybody, all different, you know, whether you're a kid on the ship or, you know, a grandparent. It's a great multi-generational. So this is great for those families that want to travel, you know, all together. This would be a great option, you know, to have the grandparents with the, you know, with the family. So you can kind of do your own thing during the day, meet up for dinner, meet up for a show, you know, and spend the day on the ports together. So I just think, you know, Royal Caribbean's really got that covered as well. They've really taken care of everybody. They do have a casino on this ship, so I think that's kind of a nice little, some people enjoy that. If you don't, you do not have to go there, but that's a nice little extra to have on Royal Caribbean. So and just, I really just think that they've their food is incredible. I think their entertainment is top notch. I think the shows that they offer are fantastic. So I think Royal Caribbean definitely is a step above in that area and compared to a lot of the other cruise lines. Susie, you might have some other thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think you said it really well. I think they've really hit the mark in all of the areas. You know, again, the activities really geared toward families, but yet there are adult-only areas as well. You know, there's a huge solarium in the back of the ship that's adult-only. It was gorgeous. So you can, you know, even if you have your family and the kids are maybe in the kids club, you can still go enjoy some adult only time where there are kids around if you want to take a little break. So they've thought about that, like Donna said, the service and the food and the entertainment, just all top notch. And then I think to add to that, the price point is really very sort of in the middle as far as other cruise lines go. So they're not terribly expensive, but yet, this was the largest cruise ship in the world. So, I think it's a good value for what you're paying for, and just the amount of everything that you're getting from them that really is all top notch. One other thing I think that would be good to mention is that they sail all over the world. Interestingly, on this cruise, there were some folks, quite a few folks actually, that were going to be doing this ultimate world cruise that Royal Caribbean offers. So I know we got to talk to a couple of the families that were doing that. That's like 275 nights, and they visit over 60 countries, and it's just amazing. So we were pretty envious of those folks that were on there that were talking about doing that. So, but yeah, I just think they really have done a great job at every aspect of the ship.
Yes.
And I think the last thing about that too, why Royal Caribbean, this is a huge one. It doesn't matter which ship you sail on for this, is their private island. I mean, Perfect Day Coco Cay is absolutely, such a unique product port of call. So I think that's another benefit to sailing with Royal Caribbean, is to be able to visit that amazing island.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
totally agree.
And I agree with everything that you guys have said. I think that it's a really great option, whether you are a veteran cruiser or whether this is your first cruise. It's a great place to start, I think, and a great way to enjoy cruise travel and all of the good things that come with it, like that all-inclusive nature and everything that people are looking for with a cruise. So I have not seen any questions come through right now while we're live, but just to let you know, if you happen upon this video and we're no longer live, it's not too late to ask a question. We do monitor these for questions after the fact. So feel free to go ahead and still put those in the comment section, and one of us will come back and we'll answer that for you. But we thank you so much for all of you that watched with us tonight, or those of you who are watching in the future. If you would like any more information from any of the agents that you heard from tonight, all of the contact information is back at the beginning of the video. And keep in mind that it is no extra cost to you to book your cruise through one of our agents than it would be to just go on Royal Caribbean's website or give their call center a call and book it yourself. But when you're booking with us, you're getting someone who can keep you updated with all of the updates, in the travel world. And there have been a lot of them over the past 3 years, especially where cruising is concerned. Health and everything was changing, health requirements and all kinds of stuff. So it's our job to know things like that. It's our job to be able to advise on the documentation that you need to take a cruise. So you really do have someone who's there in your corner every step of the way, walking you through the process, and it doesn't cost you any extra money. So feel free to reach out to one of our agents if you're interested in more information. But we thank you so much for watching with us tonight, and we hope to see you again really soon for another episode of Sundays with MMT. Bye, everybody.